Hi everyone, this is me, Ethan Kosak, and I am going to show you around the room and maybe feed a few things. Okay, starting over here in this corner, I've got, this is my male yearling or so lesser siren. I recorded some footage of him earlier and I'll put that up. He's probably hiding in the back somewhere. And there's a couple of white cloud minnows in there that he actually, the sirens are, my other siren too is not really that interested in eating live fish. They love worms though. Down here are a couple of nursery tanks. The other two are empty. This one has, I don't know if you can see in there, but there's some palmate newts, larval, little guys. There's one. Over here is a 75-gallon with some of my adult axolotls. I'm actually in the process of redoing this. I know it doesn't look very good right now, but this has got a chiller. It's got, I think, yeah, you can't really see them right now, but they're all back there. There's 4 of them, 5 of them in there right now. And over here are western barred tigers. And another one that they love earthworms. And they are Ambystoma mavortium. So they are native to Colorado and Utah, out west. It's one of the only salamanders that lives in that sort of dry, arid, one of the only ambystomid salamanders, rather, that lives in that kind of climate. This right here is my female Grantaire leachianus. Her name's Karen. She is very cranky. She is most likely in that log. Occasionally, well, she pretty much sleeps all day. She's nocturnal. But I am guessing she's in the log because that's where she usually is. This is a bin of isopods. I have lots of those kind of scattered throughout. I just did a water change on all these, so these are going to look pretty clouded up right now. This is baby axolotls. Yeah, they're so tiny you're not going to be able to see them. These are Tylodotriton Shanjing. There's one back there. This is my Synops pyrogaster. These are from the Sasayama locale. No eggs from them this year yet, although the male was doing tail fanning, so could still get some. They have a very bad habit of eating their eggs just as soon as they lay them, so it's kind of a matter of do I catch them in time. This is some more baby palmates. Yeah, that is really clouded up, but they're in there. They're about maybe ½ an inch long or so. This is Synops ensicata. Yep, sorry. You can see I use live plants and snails in almost all my enclosures. That's basically the primary means of filtration. There's some snail eggs. These guys also are too young to lay eggs, so we're waiting on these, a couple more years on these guys. This is my Synops cyanurus. I actually just found a baby in there that was living amongst the adults, so
These guys, I guess not as inclined. I just pulled a whole mass of eggs out of there and replaced it with fresh. So that's all fresh Java moss. You may be wondering about the Easter egg, or Easter grass. I use that when I can't get enough Java moss. They will fold their eggs into strips of that kind of stuff, and then you just pull them out and put them in something else. This tank's empty, there's nothing in there right now. This is more juvenile baby axolotls. These guys are actually big enough you can see them. A whole bunch of different colors from one clutch. That's where I put the Cyanurus eggs, so that's going to be a nursery tank for them when they hatch. And on over here, these are more nursery tanks. There's nothing in any of them except this has Marmoratus eggs. In fact, I should check. Here, this is the adults. And oh yeah, lots of eggs. See all these little... So again, they are folders. They like to fold their eggs. So for them, I use sheets of cut up plastic because it's just easier to see. Otherwise, they hide them on me. You can see him down there, hanging out. That's the male. He's got that sort of crest mohawk. Focus. There we go. There he is. He'll use that to like sort of position himself, wave his tail around, and act sexy. There's one of the females. She's a nice bright one. Let's see there. Alright, so after I shoot this, I'll pull those eggs and I'll put them in another one of those empty nursery tanks. Okay, this is just a... sorry, that's it. This is a pair of female axolotls that I have in by themselves because I don't want to breed them right now. This is the Tylodotriton varicosus tank. Right there. And those guys are only about a year old, so they're not ready to do anything yet. This is the Cynops orientalis. These are the Chinese firebellies. You can see there's one crawling up into the weeds there. A lot of times there's some hanging out front because I think I might feed them. This tank is Janet's tank. The internet's worst newt. And she's by herself, so there's not going to be any activity there probably. She is very secretive. She almost never comes out unless it's pitch black out and there might be food. These are some grow out tanks these are some copper axolotls. This is a hospital tank where I pulled some axolotls that somebody gave to me that were not looking so good. They're actually doing pretty well. You can see they're kind of skinny still. And their gills look like trash. But they're eating and they're recovering, like they're doing better. So hopefully they'll be in good shape in a few months. And then here are two high pattern Lucies that I held onto. Up above them, more isopods, bins. That's Neil's tent. And across the way, so again, more nursery tanks. The blue is methylene blue. That's just how I sterilize stuff before I put anything in it. I also often leave the eggs in water like that because it's an antifungal, and the biggest problem you have with eggs and larvae is that they get fungus and they don't make it. So that's why you do that. These 4 tanks that are marked ABCD are the juvenile Laotriton laoensis. So these are a batch of smaller, younger, about year-old, same species as Janet. So there's one. They like to hide in the moss most of the time. And they are good climbers, but so that's why I've got the tape. That keeps them in. Again, this species is pretty secretive. Unless it's nighttime. That log has a lot of nice moss on it. And then up from there, this is my baby South American lungfish, which I almost never see unless I go digging around for him. He's probably up top somewhere in the floating plants. Yeah, I think I see him back there. Let's see if I can come out. Not feeling social today. Oh, there he is. He's just a little guy. This tank has a male Marmoratus. He was my breeder male last year. I gave him the year off this year because he basically all he wants to do is mate. So he's kind of in horny jail. But he's putting weight on. He's getting a red wiggler every day. And he'll probably fatten up in a month or two. But no breeding for him this year. This is my Necturus punctatus. He's hiding over here. He often hides in that corner or under that coconut thing. He is a male. I would like to find a girlfriend for him, but this is a species that is hard to come by. Basically, it's a miniature mud puppy. Same genus. That's his full size. It's like 4 inches long. And he's a little guy. This is a rough-skinned newt. There is a rough-skinned newt. There's 2 in here, sorry. And I believe they're both females, so I need a male at some point. This is where my Spanish rib newts live. There's a whole, I think 7 of them in there, colony of them. Males and females. They breed or try to breed pretty much every time you do a water change. So I don't produce a lot of these anymore. I just keep them because I like them. Down here is a bunch of blackworms. This is an incubator with some gecko eggs. There's probably nothing going on in there right now. Nope. Some plants that I was growing out. These are dwarf sirens. It's a trio of them. They have started laying eggs. I got to go through there later today and see if there's any to pull. But they just started. You can see snail eggs. Yeah, lots of snail eggs. They're another one that tries to eat, I think, tries to eat their eggs. Something is trying to eat the eggs. This is a 40-gallon paludarium I made. Lots of plants. And this houses my Cynops ensicata popii, the gold dust firebellies. Right after I stopped, I found one. Right there. That's the least gold dusted one of them. It looks basically exactly like the other ensicatas that I have. Oh, there's a little bit you can see. A little bit. But I have other ones in there that are like much more gold. And these are again another one that needs to be grown out. They're not old enough to breed yet. They get probably close to twice that size. That's one of the rarer firebelly species in the U.S. Not too many people working with those. And then oh, there's another one up top there too, I think. Down here, this is just another tank I have for holding blackworms and live feeders and stuff. These are my adult palmate newts. And again, I've got like a little island set up for them. These guys are consistently really good breeders, and they're not super aggressive at their babies, so a lot of times there will be larvae in there growing alongside them, and they don't. Usually a bunch of them make it, and I pull them. As long as I remember to throw some kind of live food in there, like blackworms. Yep, there's one right there. Right there. It's even got front legs. Of course, I don't see any adults, but they're in there. Oh, there's another one, right on the glass. You can see all these tanks are really, see all the little microbial critters on there? They're all really, really well-matured tanks. So that's why that works. I don't think it would work if you tried to do that in a brand new one. These are alpine newts. There's some alpine newts. And I don't see anybody laying eggs or anything. There's some food in here that I gotta siphon out from yesterday. There's also snail leeches, which I have in a lot of my tanks, almost all my tanks. They don't hurt anybody. They don't suck blood or anything, but they are kind of annoying. Yeah, but they're like detritivores. They eat, you know. Supposedly they eat snails, but I've never actually seen them eat. I think they just eat gunk off the bottom. These are my pair of Anderson's salamanders. So these are close relatives of axolotls. So this is the breeding pair of arboreal salamanders. And this is their offspring. And this is my fire salamander. There. And this is Neil's grow tent. Neil's back there. He's got his whole pond. He just ate, so he's probably sleeping it off. And yeah, there's a couple of tree frogs that live in there with him that he doesn't seem to care about. There is one of the tree frogs back there in the corner. It's a red-eyed tree frog. That is the female. There is a male in there somewhere because he calls at night. That's Neil. He's a good boy.